Okay folks, this is Atlantis. What we are currently looking at is the city of Atlantis. As you can see here, you can clearly make out the center section of the city. It's very hard to see. I believe that the crystal that was said to protect Atlantis is still protecting it today. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some historical images, and you'll notice a few things changing as I'm ducking through these images. Okay, there we go. We've got a change just there. Okay, there we go. It's fairly hard to see, but you can see that round line there. This is not a trick of Google Earth, folks. This is actually quite a genuine thing actually happening with the program. Okay, so we're going to go to the 2006 again. We can't see it. It's not just because of the imagery. It's because you can actually go back. What I want to do, I'll start from the beginning and I'll take us all the way back to the... Oh, okay, there we go. There you can actually see the section of the city. Okay, we have a section here. That's one of the inner walls. There is another. Oh no, actually that is the inner wall. There's a little wall just there. It's visible by the naked eye. But yeah, and there's the wall going around. That's a wall coming around the city there. And hence there's the big one coming around there. There's another one coming around just there. But again, it's just manipulating of the images, as you can see. It's just, we've got to get the image into the right position, because this crystal, as you can see here, these beams of light are not just going downwards, they're going upwards. Okay, so this is definitely coming from a crystalline structure. Only a structure of a crystal could cause light beams to go in all different directions. But as you can see here, there is definitely something there. And it's definitely the city of Atlantis. There we have another outer wall. Okay, we have an outer wall here as well. You have to remember there's another outer wall there. That the city of Atlantis was always said to be round. Now, as you can clearly see, there is a city. Now, the crystal to this day, as you can see, is still clearly protecting the city of Atlantis. It doesn't matter from which direction we look at it, we're still going to see. I'm just going to give it a bit of a spin and turn it around and show you that it is not just from one angle. This is actually happening from multiple angles. It's like the water diffusion. If you put a pen into water, well, by the looks of it, if you push high intensity light through water, the same thing happens. You're bending light. Okay, now what we're doing now, we're just zooming in. You can see a few of the outer walls just here. Again, I've noticed that they're a domey shape here. There's another inner wall here. Another inner wall here. This is truly the round city of Atlantis, folks. It was always said that it disappeared beneath the sea. It disappeared beneath the North Pole is where it actually disappeared to. And I hate to say it, but any of those that have been trying to discredit the hollow earth theory, here's the proof that actually proves that it's a hollow earth. It has an entrance, and there's your entrance right there. You can see another little wall just there. Make out that little section of the wall there. So we just zoom in. Okay, but you get to certain stages and you can't see it because the crystal intensity is too intense. But if we change the angle a bit, we're going to start to see a few little anomalies that make you realise that this is actually, there we go, if you can see those, but these are actually not just, okay, there we go, we've got an outer wall of the city over there, we have a definite inner wall there, again we have there, we've now lost sight of those ones there, but you have to remember people, this is underwater. So it's only by fluke that I found this, because everyone was talking about the hollow earth. I came up to actually have a look at this black spot that was so-calledly said to cover the North Pole. I didn't actually find the black spot because I'd say they've actually removed it. But again, here you go, there's another wall there, inner wall, inner circle. This is the actual entrance. Now I'm going to show you something real freaky. We're going to go inside. Now, okay, now as you can see here, we're getting the intensity of all the walls. Okay, we're just going to go back out for a second, and you can see the intensity. This is absolutely incredible with the naked eye though, folks. But what we're going to do, those crystal patterns are just from the way the cameras have actually taken photos. But if we zoom past the actual crystal and go with the light, now we're actually going with the light. We're going under the water, but now we're going to turn it because we're with the light. We're going to make it so we go underneath it. So we have to change our angle. Because we're not looking directly at the light, very soon we should... No, okay, it didn't work. That's right, you have to look directly at the centre. And again, these weird structures are similar to the effects of a crystal. You zoom in on a crystal or something there we go. You can see it's coming from an inner light source. There is an inner light source deep within the planet. There we go. Because, okay, so Clag's the dummy there. Google Earth used what they call topographical cameras. Now these topographical cameras, if they found an abyss, i.e. like a dirty big hole, they would actually film into it, but it has actually picked up these lights. As you can imagine, because I truly believe that I don't think there's any actual water around Atlantis, because I'm going to do something right about now, and you watch what happens here. You'll see some of the photos of the effect. Okay, no, that was it there. The photos of the effect where the water, you're starting to see here, there, okay. If you notice here, I'm sorry, damn it. Here. Notice the depth of those. I believe what is said to be water at the North Pole is not actually North water. But this here too, this actually looks like another round city. There's another round unit. Now Atlantis was also said to have a few outer cities. There's one of them there, I believe what was one of them there. Now as you can see here, it looks to be hills. This is not, but these is the freakiest part. That they just absolutely appear. And these are the coming from the crystal. These aren't coming from the thing. Now the topographical camera would pick this up, and that's what it has actually done. At this angle, when the topographical camera was shooting another section of the Earth, and this is when the images have overlaid. This is how Google Earth works. It's image over image over image overlaid. When it has overlaid these images, we have the topographical effect of what the camera is truly seeing, and hence, and Moses struck the water with his staff, and the waters divided. There you go there. That's most probably what Moses saw, something very, very similar to this. So basically, I believe that everything, after what I've been seeing here over the last few weeks, people, I believe everything here is connected to everything we've ever read in the Bible, everything we've ever read in some of the other books. Okay, now here we go. Here's some more of the topographical mistakes. I call them topographical mistakes, because it is the crystal trying to protect Atlantis, causing these effects. And as you can clearly see, that is not natural water. Water does not form like this. This is not a Google Earth problem. This, when viewed with the naked eye from this angle, the angle is approximately 62 degrees, approximately. But it doesn't matter where we go, there's no centre section of the city. It's very hard to see. It's I believe that the crystal that was said to protect Atlantis is still protecting it. This is actually quite a genuine thing actually happening with the program. Okay, so we're going to go to the 2006 again. We can't see it. It's not just because of the okay, there we go. It's fairly hard to see, but you can see that round line there. This is not a trick of Google Earth, folks. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some historical images, and you'll notice a few things changing as I'm ducking through these images. Okay, there we go. We've got a change just there. Okay, folks. This is Atlantis. What we are currently looking at is the city of Atlantis. As you can see here, you can clearly make out